Welcome back to April 12th, 1911. How are you guys doing? Happy Labor Day as this video is going out on Labor Day weekend here in North America. Hope you guys, if you have Labor Day off, are enjoying a long weekend. And welcome to Draft to Glory Montreal Expos style, starting in the year 1901 and trying to win as many championships as we can just through the draft process. We had an inaugural draft. We took some of the worst players possible and are trying to build our team up through the draft. Been a challenge. So here we are currently in April, the beginning of the 1911 season. Last episode, we went through the draft and we analyzed the number one draft picks overall from the first 10 drafts. So you might want to go and check that out. Pretty interesting to see how some of these players have developed. We are using historical players from all eras of baseball randomly put into the game during the draft. So we are going to try and win our second championship. Yes, we have won one. As you can tell by the thumbnail, there's one trophy on there. Each trophy we get, we're going to add another one to the thumbnail because that looks cool. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Let's see what the preseason expectations are. We should at least reach the playoffs, according to our owner. The draft prospects, currently Ty Cobb, who, of course, we missed out on. He was drafted last draft, and he is going to be a star. He's projected number 1. We have someone at number 8, Scott Stratton. And that is it in the top 10 for the draft. Prospects. Let's take a look at our team. Who have we moved up into the major leagues? You see now that we still have a few low-level players. Again, we've moved up, I believe, 1 or 2 people. Can't remember offhand who moved up, but as we go through the season, we will definitely notice them. And some of our prospects have moved up to different leagues as well, that they're probably a little bit more capable of. Hank Majeski, I think we're going to move him up to AAA. And let's make sure no one needs to be moved down. Houseman wants to go down. Okay, you can go back down to rookie ball. No problem. You get a lot of playing time. Yeah, I think we're set to go. So our pitching rotation is going to be Ted Kennedy, Roy Halladay, Scott Stratton making his major league debut. Here was the player that we took instead of Shohei Ohtani. Yes, we took him instead. Round 1, pick number 4 as a 17-year-old, where Ohtani was a 22-year-old. And you'll see that he's developed nicely. He's kind of gone on the path that he was projected to go on. 21 years old. We don't want to put him in a starting role yet. We're going to put him into the bullpen and see how he does there. Fritz Peterson, our oldest player, 43 years old. Yeah, he's not very good. Not anymore, but I'm loyal to my players to an extent, and he's been here right from day 1, so we're going to keep him on until he decides to retire. Only simply because we're in dead ball, and dead ball relievers don't get a lot of play. Kennedy, Halladay are our 2 starters, and in terms of our lineup, you'll see all of our players now have been drafted in the authentic drafts. That's outside of the inaugural draft. Bo Jackson, Cal Daniels, Paul Molitor, Bob Chance, and Joe Garagiola, along with Joe Sewell, highest overall. And you'll see that the rest of the lineup has filled in nicely. We're still looking for that really good third baseman. I think that's the only piece that we're missing. You'll see Joe Ward kind of doesn't belong on the team anymore. We've got some of the reserves even higher rated than he is. So he will likely get replaced very, very soon. And we always leave the number 8 slot for the pitcher just because I'd rather have a speedier guy or a guy with some ability on the base path so that the top of the order can do something with them. Scott Stratton is a 2-way player. Don't know if we saw that before, but he does have some ability at the plate, so that's why I'm excited to get him into the lineup next year as a starter, because he can contribute as a hitter. All right, I think it's time to go. As always, we are going to play out our first game of the season, inning by inning. And the last 2 years, we've lost heartbreakers on opening day and haven't made the playoffs. So maybe if we can win the game, it's a good sign of things to come. Here we go. We are playing at home to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pierre, Molitor, Daniels, Jackson, Chance, Sewell, Gargiola, Kennedy, and Ward. Let's go into the next inning. It is 2-0 Montreal. Let's see how we scored our first runs of the season. Pierre grounds out. Molitor singles. Daniel singles. Error. Bo Jackson gets on, and we have the bases loaded. And then Bob Chance singles home Molitor and singles home Bo Jackson. So Bob Chance with the 2 RBIs, I believe. Let's go to inning number 3. 3-0 Montreal. Go to the 4th. It is now 3-1 as Pittsburgh gets one back. We head to the 5th, and Pittsburgh blows it open with 4 runs. Oh no. In the 4th inning, just when you get comfortable and you think, okay, we're going to win a home opener. OOTP says, not today, Lap. Not today. 6th inning, we go. It is 6-3 Pittsburgh. Ted Kennedy's still on the mound. Inning number 7. Hey, we've come back. It is 6-5. Let's check out a little bit of the comeback here. Joe Ward doubles to lead off the inning. Pass ball moves Joe Ward to, I guess he comes home. Yeah. Juan Pierre walks. A fielder's choice to Molitor, and then Cal Daniels with a fly out. And Molitor will tag up and score. It is 6-5. We are not out of this yet. All right, let's head to the 8th inning. And looks like we have a pitching change. Plantier came in to pinch hit for Kennedy. So let's put in Fritz Peterson. Again, the old guy into the lineup. And he is our pitcher. Let's get back to the game action where it is 6-5. All right, let's play out these last couple innings. Fritz Peterson on the mound delivers and strikes out. The 43-year-old still has some gas in the tank. Julio Gate at the plate, and he drives one to first. Easy play for the first baseman, Bob Chance. 2 away, no one on, and make that 3 away. Clean inning for Fritz Peterson as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Come on, Expos. Bottom of the order, Joe Ward is first up. He will drive one to first, steps on the bag, 1 away. Top of the order, so we got our best hitters coming up in the 8th and 9th here. So Juan Pierre, need to get him on base, and then we'll go for a steal. Slow roller to the shortstop who guns it over, not in time. That is recorded as an error. So now we're gonna play a little baseball here. We're going to steal second. Juan Pierre with the pitch, and he easily slides into second base. Tying run on second for Paul Molitor. A little bit of hit and run. Let's do some hit and run. Let's try and get an advanced, and that one is that goes, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. That goes way off to the third base side, and I think out of the park based on that yellow streak. That was one for the books. Remember that one for when we get to like episode 40. Paul Molitor, again, trying to cash in a run here. He drives one to third. That's going to advance the runner. But 2 away. Cal Daniels, 2 for 3 so far today, at least. And he drives one into center field. Is that going to fall? No, a behind the over-the-shoulder spectacular play by the center fielder. Pollock is going to retire the side. All right, Fritz, we need you, buddy. Tito Fuente Slow roller to third and a first out of the ninth. John Riley at the plate. Riley will lay down a bunt. Fritz grabs it and throws him out. 2 away for Omar Vizquel, the number 2 hitter for the Pirates. And he drives one into center field. That's going to fall in front of the center fielder. 1 on. All right, Fritz, this is your last batter. Rusty Greer drives that one, and that is going to be caught by the left fielder. So great play there by Kel Daniels. And the Expos, one last chance to win a home opener and get some good vibes going for 1911. Bo Jackson at the plate. Now would be a good time to get on base, Bo. Come on, Bo. They're playing in deep, and that pays off because Bo Jackson gets on base. Center field was playing Jackson extremely deep there. Right, Bob Chance at the plate. Jackson has a little bit of speed, so let's hit and run here. Here comes the pitch, and a strikeout, but not a throwout. Whew, that could have been costly. So I'll take it. We advance the runner to second base on a strike. It wasn't a strikeout. It was just the first pitch. So now we have runner on second with nobody out. So we're not going to try anything fancy. And the pitch comes high and up, and that nails the batter. Bob Chance. Runner on first, runner on second. We got Joel Sewell. We're going to hit and run here. Try and move the runners across. Don't want to bunt, and that should work. We avoid the double play, and we have runners on second and third with 1 away. That brings up Joe Garagiola with a pinch hit situation on deck. What do we do here? They might walk him to get to our pitcher. All right, here comes the pitch. 0-2 count, and Garagiola strikes out. All right, we're not going to let Fritz Peterson pitch or hit. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in, I don't really trust anyone off the bench here, so what we're going to do is rookie Scott Stratton, the 2-way pitcher. He's going to come into the game. We're going to let him pinch hit. And if it's successful, he gets to stay in the game as our reliever / closer if we can get the lead. So Scott Stratton's major league debut coming in a high pressure situation. The number 4 pick overall. Let's see if he can deliver. Here comes the pitch from Keith Folk. And they walk him. Scott Stratton, first plate appearance is going to be a walk. So they were afraid of this 2-way pitcher. That's going to go back to Joe Ward. Joe Ward is 2 for 4 on the game, hitting .500 this season. I think we're gonna take some pitches here. Let's hope for a wild Keith Folk. 1-0 is the count. Let's take as many as we can. 2-0. All right, here comes the 2-0 pitch. It is a strike on the outside corner. Right. Pitch number 4, 3-0. All right, well, we could walk home a run. I will take it if we can. Okay, Joe, you're going to take this one. You got the red light on this pitch. Here it comes, and that looks like it is outside, and the Montreal Expos come back in an unusual way, bringing in Scott Stratton to pinch hit. He walks, and then we take 6 pitches, and we get a walk to Joe Ward. All right, bases loaded, walk-off situation. We can win the game here. Juan Pierre at the plate. We got a wild pitcher here, so we're going to take some pitches. That is strike 1. Here comes pitch number 2. Identical, strike 2, so swing away, Juan, swing away. He strikes out. We head to some extra baseball with Scott Stratton on the mound. He can pick up his first win as a Montreal Expo. Let's head to the bottom of the inning. And Pittsburgh does get a run on Stratton. So here we go. Another comeback situation. Paul Molitor is going to face a new pitcher for the Pirates. And it is booted by the shortstop. Molitor will get on. Here we go again. Got to make some tough decisions, and we're going to hit and run. So Daniels, need you to make some contact on this, buddy. Pitch goes over. Nothing happening. Let's try this again. That one is going to land in left field, but foul. 0-1 count. Let's try the hit and run again on Ryan O'Rourke. Another foul ball. Yeah, we're going to hit and run. We'll chance it here. Molitor gets back safely. Their pitch. That one is fouled off. One more. Molitor can't get anything going on first base. Cal Daniels fighting to stay alive. 0-2 count. Here I think is going to be the payoff pitch. And it is a slow roller to second, and Daniels will beat it out once again with no one out. The Expos have runners on first and second with Bo Jackson at the plate. Again, they probably should walk him, but we are going to hit and run with Bo as well. Here's the pitch, and that lands foul on the first base side. It'll hit and run, and a strikeout, and a double steal. We made it. Actually, strike two on Bo Jackson. He didn't even strike out. Even better. I think they're going to walk him. We'll swing away. All we need is a sac fly. And identical foul ball. Come on, Bo. Runners on the corner. What happened to... I guess we got a run there. It looked like a foul ball, but actually it was a single that's going to score Paul Molitor and move Daniels over to third base. Wow. Okay. Let me replay that. Here's a replay of that. Wow, on the replay, yeah, it lands in fair territory, but on the original play of the game, it looked like it landed foul. I definitely will take that. All right, Bob, wrap it up. Here comes the pitch, and that is driven through the middle, and your Montreal Expos come off the bench to celebrate the victory. 8-7 comeback over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Feeling good about the season. Okay, looking at the box score, we score 1 in the 9th to tie it. They take the lead. We score 2 in the 10th. Scott Stratton, milestone moment. First victory of his career. First of what I think is going to be many once he moves into the starting rotation. What else do we got here? Let's take a look at the box score and see what transpired there for our hitters. 3 runs for Paul Molitor, 3 hits for Cal Daniels, 2 hits for Jackson, Chance, Sewell, Ward. Yeah, I'd say we had a pretty strong game. Our pitching, maybe not so much. Ted Kennedy, 6 runs, 5 of them earned in 7 innings. And Fritz Peterson came on, did a masterful job. Scott Stratton, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks. Not the best outing, but he's a rookie. He's probably a little nervous. He got the win anyway. Okay, let's go to the end of April and see where we stand. It is May 1st. May 1st, you can pause the video if you want and take a look at some of the development updates. Scott Stratton has improved. Good. I think we brought him up at the right time, so he's still improving. Roy Halladay, his stamina's gone up to 45, even better. He now can legitimately be a starting pitcher. Molitor has dropped a little bit. Joe Ward has improved. So still early in the season, but we are seeing some progress. for some of the guys in the minors and on the majors. But the major one being Scott Stratton, who is almost completely developed and still only 21 years old. Still only one win. He has 1 win and 3 losses now on the year, so he didn't have a really good month. Again, that's why we don't have him starting. We have him in the pen, and it might be better, to put him in a kind of a middle relief situation. We're going to put Danny Darwin back as our stopper, and Kyle Weiland, he's going to be a stopper. So we got 2 more guys that have a little bit more experience, the guys that have done well in the past. Scott as a stopper doesn't seem to be cutting it. Our record at the end of April is the Montreal Expos in almost last place, 4.5 games back. You know what? We won the first game. I feel good about that. We're just going to call it a bad April, and let's go to June. June 1, again, a few player updates here. Nothing major one way or the other. In fact, I think all 4 players are showing here have dropped at least a little bit. More important, what is our record? 4.5 games back last month. How are we this month? We are currently 6 games back. Brooklyn Dodgers, Cincinnati Reds are leading the way. Ted Kennedy, the Senator, 106 strikeouts on the year in a 2-man rotation. Maybe it's time to go to a 3-man rotation next year. Let's get Scott Stratton in the starting role next year and have Halladay, Stratton, and Ted Kennedy. No one on the leaderboard here, and we're not amongst the leaders in any of these categories. So no use staying here. Let's go ahead to July. Oh, Canada. The fireworks are going off this July 1st, and they're going off in the Montreal head office because it's been a while since we were this far back. We are 9 games back. The good news is we're almost 500, but 9 games back, that is embarrassing. We've had good drafts. We have really good players. Something seems to be missing. So let's take a look to see what we can do in the short term. Player-wise, Scott Stratton's only hitting 200. Flask Camper, 211. I mean, our hitters aren't doing too bad. Can't really complain too much. Pitching-wise, Roy Halladay's not having a great year. Stratton has brought down his pitching to a 4.5 from a 7.7, so he is getting better, more suited to the middle relief role. Again, our pitchers aren't horrible. We must just be losing a lot of close games. Let's take a look at June. Yeah, one-run game, 2-run game. So some of our losses have been very close. Some blowouts in terms of wins: 14-4, 7-3, 14-2, 9-3, 7-0, 8-0, 6-0. So when we win big. In fact, so big that we're now the league leader in runs scored, 346, and we're 3rd in home runs. So we've got the offense. We're just maybe not getting those in-game breaks to swing things slightly in our favor. So let's go to the beginning of August, see if we can turn this around. August 1st, and the new prospect list has been updated. Of course, Scott Stratton being in the major leagues, he no longer is considered a prospect, so he is not on the top 10, and therefore Montreal has no one amongst the top prospects. Ty Cobb still number 1. Let's take a look at him. He is in Washington which is interesting because they still have him on the prospect list. Probably because he's played the majority in AAA. So they called him up recently and he's hitting 372 in the major leagues. Yeah, this guy is going to be good. We'll keep an eye on him over the seasons, but I think it'll be pretty easy to notice. I'm predicting Washington is going to be a dynasty. They've got Cobb, they've got Dan Brothers, and if we look at the standings, we are only 6 games back. We did make up a little bit of ground. We're over 500, and in the AL, Washington is going to make some moves very soon. If it's not this year, it's going to be in the next year or two. We're going to see Washington book it near the top of the league. Okay, Joe Sewell, second, actually tied for first in RBIs. Joe Garagiola is third in home runs. Kennedy, leader in strikeouts, leader in wins. And the Expos still have the most runs scored. 27 more runs than the second place team. So let's keep the momentum going. Let's see if we can make up a little ground. Couple months left to go in the season. Let's head to September 1st. Again, a lot of player development reports here. Just taking a quick look. Mark Tien in AA looks like he's making some pretty good progress. Who else? Hank Majeski playing in AAA has gone up half a star. Otherwise, not a lot to be excited about. Let's take a look at our minor leagues and see if anyone really needs to come up. Again, having AA, AAA, and having all these prospects, there's just not enough room on the major league roster to get all these guys in. Look at all these up arrows. They all want to come up to the major leagues. The game is saying, you know what? They're ready or they're close to ready. AA, a rookie ball. I guess we can move these guys up to AA. Looks like they are ready. And maybe even up to AAA. But yeah, let's move them up to AAA. And therefore, we got to let's move a couple people down. Because again, with so many people, you can't get all the playing time for everyone that needs it. Ron Guidry, remember when we drafted him? I thought he was going to be really good. He was in the top 40 prospects, and then he tanked. We drafted him in the second round back in 1908. How old is he right now? He is 26. Yeah, he is probably a bust at this point. Again, doesn't have that dead ball profile. Dead ball, we want a lot of control. We're willing to give up stuff. And his is flip the opposite. So sorry, Ron, maybe we'll give you a shot next year. We'll see what our record looks like. Looks like we might be getting a higher draft pick. And anyone that we should call up here. Dick McBride, I think I'm going to call you up. Or, let's take a look at our ERAs here. Paul Hopkins, he needs to go down. Stratton, and he used to be a 5-star, now he's only 3. Scott, think you need to go back down. So Stratton and Hopkins, at the risk of it hurting Stratton, I'm going to take the bigger gamble that it helps him. So we'll move up McBride and we will move up Morena. Everyone else is 3-star or lower. And on the major leagues, I guess Badu, Ward, Blaskamper can go down, and I'm going to call up Santana. Again, let's give these guys a little bit of late season action because we are currently 9 games out. we're pretty much where we were last year or last month. We were one game above 500. We are again one game above 500, but we've lost ground 3 games. So the teams at the top are excelling. Dodgers, Reds, and over in the AL, it is the White Sox and the Highlanders that seem to be contending for the World Series. Well, I don't think we need to go week by week. Let's just go to the beginning of October. October is here, and that means playoff baseball. The question is, did we go on some sort of streak? Will the Expos be in playoff contention? Santa Ana looks like Mert has announced his retirement. Drafted in the 8th round of the 1906 draft. Never made it past rookie ball. Played pretty well. Probably should have been promoted. Maybe that's why he's retiring. He just got frustrated. Hey, I'm like over 25 and you still call me a rookie. Sorry, Mert. Sorry. Oops. I hope you have a wonderful post-baseball career. The Montreal Expos are currently 10.5 back, fallen back below 500, and that's pretty much the season. Some really good accomplishments here. Joe Sewell is leading the league in RBIs. Kennedy, again, leading in strikeouts and wins. Expos, number 1 in runs scored, number 3 in batting average, number 3 in home runs. Let's take a look at our pitching staff. We did bring in Dick McBride, who has only pitched pretty much 3 innings. And we brought in Morena, who's only pitched 1 inning. Neither of them have given up a run. Halliday, 21 wins, and Kennedy, 26. Okay, so we are 10.5 games back, and currently 6th pick would be ours right now. So we are in contention to get at least a number 6 or probably number 7 overall pick, which probably will be a really good player. We've got 5 games left, and although I never like to lose, we don't want to win too many because we'll probably be pushed down the draft order. Going streaking. What? Cal Daniels' consecutive on-base streak at 11. Way to go, Cal. Got to look for those positives in our season. We lose game 1 of 5. Game 2, we lose. As we go ahead to the next game, it is a St. Louis matchup. And we win that one. Game 2 against St. Louis is another win, 19-1. Whoa, the boys were ready to play there. Woo. That keeps us, 1, 2, 3, keeps us at the number 6 pick, and I don't think we can do any better or any worse because we only have 1 game left. Yes, just 1 game left. All right, let's go to the playoffs. Let's just get this season over with as we lose 12-1 in the final game of the season. So it's going to be the Chicago White Sox up against the Brooklyn Dodgers in the World Series, and always kind of interesting to look back at the Dodgers and White Sox in the playoff past. White Sox have won the last 2. They're looking for their 3rd in a row. This is their 4th World Series appearance. And Brooklyn has been there once, back in 1905. Although they've changed their name from the Superboss to the Dodgers. Joe Sewell, 1 RBI short of 100. Great season, Joe. Great season. He was our first major player picked round 1, I think player number 2? Yeah, pick number 2 overall back in the 1901 draft. Let's find out. who takes this year's World Series? Will it be the third time winning White Sox? Or will the Brooklyn Dodgers take their first championship? There it is. There you have it. Congratulations, 3 in a row to the Chicago White Sox, who take the World Series in 7 games. It will be Al McBean as the World Series MVP. Looks like he had a pretty decent year and went 2-0, won both games that he appeared in the playoffs. In fact, Game 7 was a 2-1 victory. That's how close it was. Extra innings. Brooklyn, you were that close to your first World Series. That close. Walk-off. The Chicago White Sox would tie the game up 1-1 in the bottom of the 8th, and then in the 12th inning, don't think it was a home run. Let's just take a quick peek if we can. I think we can see the game log. Well done, Chicago. Well done. The Chicago White Sox have won their 3rd in a row. Let me just double check that because it doesn't show the winner yet because we're not quite done the season. But yeah, Chicago has won their 3rd in a row. Come on, Montreal. Why can't you be like Chicago? Let's go to the award announcements and see if any of our players took home any hardware to kind of salvage our season a bit. Let's check out the awards this season. Okay. Individual player awards, starting with the American League. Dan Brothers, 3rd-time winner of the Pete Browning Award. John Ward, 4th Cy Young of his career. Shad Berry from Detroit will take home the Rookie of the Year. It will not be Ty Cobb in the American League. It will be Shad Berry. Where was he taken? He was taken in the 2nd round of the 1909 draft. Wow. And Dana Eveland is the winner of the Reliever of the Year. In the National League, Chick Stahl, 1st-time winner of the Pete Browning Award. Way to go, Chick. 24-year-old hitting .336, 196 hit, 84 RBIs, and a 7.2 WAR. Tom Hughes will win the first Cy Young Award of his career. 22-year-old who was drafted in the 1st round, 2nd pick overall of the 1908 draft. Excellent year. Tom Hughes of the runner-up Brooklyn Dodgers. And a Lady Baldwin, player I would have liked to get in the draft, went 3rd overall in last year's draft and is the Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, lady. And finally, the Reliever of the Year will go to Mike Kickham of the Cincinnati Reds. Mike Kickham, 34 years old. He's been around right from the inaugural draft and finally getting a little bit of love and recognition from OOTP. So that is the list of award winners. Montreal shut out this year. Again, didn't have a great year. Hopefully we can turn that around. Let's go to the draft where we got some excitement going because we have a high pick this year. The draft lottery results are in, and even though Montreal will not be part of the draft lottery, the St. Louis Browns will hang on to the 1st overall pick. The Pittsburgh Pirates will move up, picking number 2. The Cardinals will move down 1 position, and Detroit stays at number 4. Okay, it is time. Get excited. The Expos pick number 6 in the draft. Should we take a look at the mock draft? Let's take a look who's available. What names are we going to see come out this year? David Peralta, projected to go number 1. Kurt Welsh. Mike Mussina is there. David Segui. Kevin Gaussman, a current day player. Bobby Witt. Edgar Renteria. not seeing that real life megastar in the first round, other than maybe Mike Mussina. No one else really jumps out as, hey, look, I'm in the draft. Try to get me. Round number 2, any recognizable names? A few: Brian Goodwin, Mike Krivich. You see round number 3 projected. Heine Mueller, Jason Mott, great reliever for St. Louis. Brad Lidge. So a lot of pitching. Round number 4. Don't know if I recognize any of those names. And then round 5. Yeah, it might be the most unrecognizable draft class yet. A lot of names that, did well in baseball, but like I said, that star power, that name power, don't really see too many of those. So the Expos projected to get Chris Spire. Our goal is to either get a stud pitcher or a third baseman. 2 biggest priorities. So let's go on to the draft. Okay, going on to pick number 6. Kurt Welsh will go 1. Mussina jumps up. Projected to go number 5. He will go number 2. Drabowski moves up quite a bit as well. Drabowski was expected to go number 10. So he moved up quite a bit. Peralta, who is the number 1 overall projected pick, falls to number 5. So that's gonna leave the Expos with probably a couple good options here. Let's go to the batters potential. Let's shortlist some of these players all the way down to 2.5 stars. Okay, let's add to the short list, and then let's go to our pitchers. Potential, and we're going to add all the 2.5 and higher. And short list. Okay, let's take a quick little peek. I don't know if there's any obvious choice here. Pitching wise, Al Atkinson, 21 years old. He's probably ready to go. If we want to go younger, we could go with Dan Collins. Like, he only got 1 pitch. Don't know if I've ever seen that before. 1 pitch. When did he play baseball? Back in 1874. He could have a huge career in OOTP compared to real life. Wow. 1874, he played a couple games, and here in OOTP, he's got an 80 fastball. I almost want to take him, just see how he does. And Collins, we're going to keep him on the short list, and we're going to check in on him. If we don't take him this round, we're definitely going to take him if he's still there round 2. We've got to, right? He's got to be a meme player. Al Atkinson. Okay, here is a really good potential starter. Very good dead ball pitcher. With Scott Stratton kind of going the bust route and Roy Halladay not becoming the star I thought he would. Another 1800 player. All right, he is number 1 on the list for pitchers, for sure. Any hitters stand out? Yeah, no hitters. Look how quickly. We're only on pick number 6. And the highest hitter available, Jim Eisenreich. Center field, which is a position we don't really need right now, Edgar Renteria. We could force him to play third, but we got Joel Sewell at short. And David Segui. This is a bad draft for batters. 3-star at pick number 6? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. We have to go with that pitcher. So here we go. The Montreal Expos unfortunately don't have a lot to choose from, so they're going to take the best player available, and that is Al Atkinson. Starting pitcher material, looks like he's ready to play next year. In fact, we might put him in the majors as a 4-star player. Why not? I don't want to risk him getting worse. So Al Atkinson, you are a member of the Expos. On to round 2. All right, to round 2, let's go back to our short list. And hopefully the team is there. Good. So we've got John Bale, Dan Collins, Brad Kirby, and all pitchers. None of those hitters are still there, which I would understand. Ray Tift, 21 years old. He's an option. Brad Kilby, another reliever. Doesn't really have great movement. John Bale, lot of developing. He's 23 years old and he's got 6 pitches. Only one that's developed. That is a risky pitch, but he could turn out to be a 5-star player. He could develop really strong. And finally, Dan Collins, who we said we were going to take if he was still there, a 1-pitch reliever. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. Dan Collins, 2nd round pick. maybe the worst 2nd round pick, or could end up being the best that we've ever made. Let's go to round 3, and I doubt any of our shortlisted players are still there, but we better check. They are all gone. So that means we have to take a look at our batters. All right, looks like Jerry Martin looks pretty good. Heine Mueller. We're not worried about power. So Joe, Frank, and that's pretty much it. Gus, maybe we could put on there, and we'll add Eddie. Not going to look at pitchers. We already got 2 pitchers in this draft. That is plenty. So we're going to look at shortlisting these batters, and we'll see what we got. Okay, let's go to our batting potential. And I guess I should go and take off those that have been drafted. Don't need you getting in the way. Let's take them off. All right, chat, viewers, who would you take here? Would you go with the obvious 2.5-star Joe Pites? Again, got a fairly good dead ball profile considering. Only plays right field though. Eddie only plays first base, and we have Bob Chance there, and he's already 23. So Eddie is leaving the short list. Heine Mueller. Okay, we do need a third baseman. He can play third base. He could spend a year in the minors. Switch hitter. I like him. I like Heine. Frank. Woo. What a profile. Wow. Outfielder, though, only 18 years old and fully developed. That could be an interesting choice. Jumbo. Okay. Heine or Jumbo? Let's take off Joe. And let's take off Frank. And finally, Gus. Gus, we're going to leave you on the short list and hope you're there next round because you're only a 1.5 star player. You might get passed on. So now it's either Jerry or Heine. Let's compare these players. The eye test is saying take Jerry. Defensively, is probably not as strong, no. Although Heine plays a lot more positions, but Jerry's the better defender. Okay, we are going with Jerry Martin with this pick. Back to the draft. Montreal Expos will select center fielder Jerry Martin. Now we can hope that some of our other players are still on there, and we did take off Eddie. He's the only player left with a contact potential over 40, so let's take Eddie. And now in the 5th round, and there's not much left. Rank by gap. Got a catcher here. Don't really care about home runs. Yeah, it's not much. Fred, I think, is probably the best choice, and he's not really a good choice. Fritz, we already have one Fritz. What the heck? Let's have a second Fritz, because Fritz Peterson probably going to retire very, very soon. On to round number 6. Gap, either Jake Jones or Ken Maka. I think it's got to be Ken. Again, just taking players now that probably will never, ever be on the major league team. Hopefully we can give them a good minor league career because there's just too many players they have to pass. Next up, let's take a look at pitchers, see if there's anything left. Movement. I guess Homer. Every team needs a Homer. Or Michael Driscoll. I think I like Michael Driscoll a little less. Homer, come on in. All right, no more pitchers. Everyone else is going to be hitter. 3 more to draft. Let's just go by potential. Think Jason Wood. Yep, multi-positional player, and although he's 26, I don't know now. Jack Allen. Jack, we're taking you. You're a third baseman. You've got speed. You've got okay defense. You're on the team. 2 more picks. Let's look for some names here. What names will look good in a Montreal Expo uniform? Ted Trent, Les Witherspoon, Walt Alexander. Oh, we are taking Wild Bill Wright. He will probably never get out of rookie ball, but everyone will be scared to mess with him. Don't mess with Wild Bill Wright. And last pick, bet I couldn't ask you, who do you guys want me to take? Should we take a day of the week? Should we take a guy that we can't pronounce? Or should we take a famous world leader? Let's take Ed Napoleon. Ed, we have tons of first basemen. And now we've got one more. Well, not the best draft for Montreal. Didn't really have a lot of options. I am excited about getting those 2 pitchers. The one guy with 1 pitch, and then L from the 1800s. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the 1911 season, one of our least productive, least interesting seasons so far. Next season is ours. I have a really good feeling about 1912. We're going to bring some new players into the system. We're going to change our pitching rotation around. I think we're going to go with 3 starters now. And we'll see you next episode.